this isn't the story, but we can relate it to this previous story. Speaking of choke jobs, Jackson State's bowl game performance, definitely a choke job. Or not bowl game, it was in the FCS or whatever it was.
Yeah, their conference championship.
Conference championship.
Yeah,
it
the
was
SWAC championship.
It was quite the stinker of a performance, but all year long, great season, and now they've had an even better off season, and I think we can attribute to this to Deion Sanders some, but I like to call this the Barstool effect. What do you think about that? Do you think social media presence has anything for these new recruits, high-ranking recruits coming to Jackson State?
Right. So just a little extra context, Jackson State and Deion Sanders made headlines a few weeks ago. They got Travis Hunter, who was the number 1 overall prospect, to decommit from Florida State to come to Jackson State. And recently, wide receiver, number 4 wide receiver in the class, 2022 class, Kevin Coleman, has now also committed to joining Jackson State, which is obviously huge because Jackson State's an FCS school. But to your, people ask, well, how are they getting these recruits? Is it Deion being the big name that he is, or what is it? And I think you're on to something there. I think the fact that Deion Sanders and, what he's built with the program and his connections with media like Barstool people can kind of recruits kind of like that. And they like the ability to connect to that media because, right, the NIL, name, image, and likenesses deals that have gone through, players can now make money marketing. But the reality is, if you go to a school that's not Alabama, Texas, Florida, Ohio State, you're not really going to make that much money because you're not really a big name, outside of that college town. You just aren't. That's the reality. But if you go to play for Deion Sanders and you get connected to Deion Sanders Barstool, like that kind of linkage, like that's a huge marketing opportunity. That's big massive. Money. So that's a big chance to make. You don't even have to get it through Barstool. If you show up, it's like being on Last Chance U or one of those documentaries. If you get a lot of FaceTime, right, that gives you access for marketing opportunities for yourself and endorsement deals and sponsorships and things like that. A lot of recruits like that, and a lot of them see that, right? Because if you think about one of these recruits and you go to, let's say, University of North Carolina, and you're a really nice player, I can't, what sponsorship and advertisements do you get outside of Chapel Hill, North Carolina? You really don't get any. No one's really going to know who you are. But if you go to Jackson State and you get the connection to Barstool and all that, and you end up on maybe some clips or some merch or some, social media, Subway, social media posts, whatever, you get access to all kinds of stuff, right? Shoe deals, other advertisement, other sponsorships. And it's not just local. Like, I feel like a lot of college guys, they get maybe local deals. Barstool's national. So you get access to more of a national advertising and marketing sphere. And I think a lot of players that are smart and savvy see that, and I think that they want to potentially get their hands in that. And I think that's what's driving what some of these recruits are doing.
They could be the face of High Noon Hard Seltzers. So, you never know what's happening.
But that's huge money, right?
Yeah, for sure. But something I read that was very, very interesting, and to just show how unprecedented a signing like this is the highest ranked prospect to pick an FCS school since 2006. So it's been almost 20 years since something like this has happened. So I kudos to Deion for having some successful seasons, luring in the prospects. Kudos for Deion to being smart enough to join with one of the media powerhouses in Barstool and knowing what that can do for his brand, and then using that to push forward his football team. It's like he's truly living symbiotically in both realms, media and football coaching, and he's doing a beautiful job of it. And I'd just like to, we can give him a hand. So
that's a good point on him. That's really smart by Deion, because what's college football all about is recruiting. And, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And this may be probably the most clever way anyone's gone about recruiting, and done a great job doing it. Unbelievable job. Like you said, most successful class in 20 years for a school in that classification. So yeah, great job by Prime and the team at Jackson State.